Hello, my name is Richard Doyle, and I'm the founder and chair of Pabasso, and we provide comprehensive business support to business leaders. And we do this through monthly group meetings and one-to-one mentoring and coaching. And we address the challenges of running a small to medium-sized business. So I'm chatting today with Matthew Fidler, who is one of the three founding partners and managing partner of Tia Law. So Matthew, thanks for taking part in this interview. Can you tell us why and when you and your two co-founders decided to set up Tia Law?
Yeah, sure. Good afternoon, everyone who's watching and listening. I think the when is easy. So we started trading in May 2019, 10 months before the pandemic, which we obviously didn't envisage at the time. But yeah, we'd been part of a previous law firm and decided that we wanted to set out on our own. And as to the why, probably slightly different for all three of us, but I think we shared a common goal in wanting to continue doing good quality, complex legal work, but we felt it could be done in a different way where it was more personal in terms of the relationship with both clients and colleagues, more fleet of foot, quicker decision making, and I guess entrepreneurial in spirit.
Okay, so what did Tia, sorry, I should ask you, where does the name come from?
Where does the name come from? It's a good question. Uh, it is the Norse god of law, justice, and integrity, and it felt a bit serendipitous in the sense that it's also the last letter of our three surnames. So we didn't want to go for something traditional, Smith Jones blogs and co. We wanted it to be a talking point. We wanted it to feel and sound different. So we thought it was, as I say, something that the market hadn't seen before and something that would be a talking point.
Excellent. And I guess if you'd all used your surnames for a firm of solicitors, you'd have had Fiddler in it.
We would have had a fiddler in it, or we could have gone with JFK, which again probably didn't have the right connotations.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so what do you specialize in? What's your target client base?
So we started off life doing commercial litigation and commercial property, which we still remain extremely strong in. But over the 6 years we've been going, we've grown into a full service commercial firm. So we've got a brilliant growing corporate transactions team, commercial contracts, insolvency, employment, property litigation, regulatory, and a sports team as well, which does the really exciting stuff. I
Hmm.
don't think I've forgotten anybody there. But in terms of, I guess, client profile, I mean, it really does range from large PLCs to high net worth individuals and everywhere and everything in between. And we don't limit ourselves in that respect. The focus is on doing high quality work, doing business critical work for clients and referrers who we feel we can build relationships with.
And how do you typically find your clients, or do they find you?
Um, I suppose, as I say, the emphasis is on relationships. So it's the interwoven networks of our people, and that's with clients, but also we've got some great referral relationships in the legal world and the accountancy world who know we're good at what we do. And I suppose it's not very sexy in the age that we live in, and we obviously work hard at having a digital presence, but word of mouth, having a reputation for quality, and having those personal relationships and networks still goes a long way, and it's very much the foundation on which our business is built. Human beings still want to buy services from other human beings, I think, for now at least.
Hmm. Hmm. Okay, so could you tell us what your actual role is at TIA? You are the managing partner. So what does your typical day, week, month consist of?
Yeah, it's a mix. It's fair to say it's a mix and a balance. I'm still involved in some of our larger cases. So I'm a commercial litigator, and I still enjoy the legal work. Uh, but I also have a responsibility for the day-to-day management of the firm on the operations side, with the support of the management board. And then in addition to that, there's the overarching strategic direction of the firm, alongside the other owners. So it's mixed, it's varied. Every day is a new challenge. But that was the intention when we started out, and that's one of the reasons personally for doing it.
So you told us you've been going now for about 6 years, and you've
Yeah.
grown a fantastic business with a large number of colleagues now. Is there any particular thing that you attribute to your success?
It's quite hard to nail it down to one thing. I mean, high quality legal advice, commercial and pragmatic legal advice, it should be a given in a law firm, and all of our competitors will say that they do the same thing. I think we've tried hard to look and feel a bit different, and as I say, I keep repeating this, but the emphasis has been on that personal high level of service, and trying to keep it as enjoyable and as vibrant as possible for clients and for colleagues. That's the magic, I think, and I suppose it comes from giving our people the time and the space to invest in those relationships, particularly without the clock running and being on all the time, which is a huge bugbear for clients. So they need to feel like we're really investing in those relationships, and I think a lot of firms talk about doing that, but aren't actually very good at doing that.
Mm-hmm. So moving on to Pabasso and your membership of the Pabasso Peer Advisory Board you're in, were you looking for some outside support when you came across Pabasso?
Yeah, I think it's probably fair to say I was. It was in the early days of the business, and when we started, I was a good lawyer, but I had a steep learning curve in terms of what it meant to run a business. And from there, I think we've learned some things over the years, and we've been successful. But we still look to improve. We still look to learn. We don't get everything right all of the time, and the world's changing too. So, the more support we can have, the more ideas that we can bring to the table, different perspectives, the better. And hopefully, again, being the size that we are allows us to adapt to that changing world quickly.
Mm-hmm. So where do you get your most value out of your Pabasso membership? Is it the monthly group meetings and the input from other group members? Is it the monthly one-to-ones? Is it the speakers? Or is it any ad hoc support you've got throughout the period?
I think it all plays an important role. The group sessions are a sort of a hive of different ideas and perspectives, and again, it's in a safe space so that you feel comfortable, discussing some of the challenges in your business in that supported environment. Whereas the one-to-ones are hugely helpful from a personal perspective because it's more bespoke to what's going on in my life or my business at any particular time. So I think both of those forums play a really important role and deliver something slightly different.
So, having been in a peer advisory board for some time now, what advice would you give to somebody who was thinking of joining one?
I guess I'd say give it a try. I think the most important thing is that you feel like you can trust and have a relationship with the other members in the group, particularly the chairperson who's going to be doing your one-to-ones. You're only really going to get a sense of that by spending some time with them, interacting with them, getting a feel for it. And I think you'll either gel or you won't gel. And that's quite a personal, subjective thing, I suspect.
Mm-hmm. So, what would you consider to be your greatest achievements in starting TIER?
I mean, it's not about me. I'd say that it's very much a team effort. And we've come a really long way in our 6 years. We've grown massively. We've gone from 4 of us to over 50 of us now. We do some great work for some brilliant clients. But I think the thing I'm probably most proud of is that we seem to have genuinely built a place where people like to come to work. And that seems to translate into the clients liking to work with us.
Excuse me. So finally, Matthew, what do you do in your spare time and what are your hobbies?
Well, as you might appreciate, time is at a bit of a premium. I've got 2 young kids, and so I try and spend as much time as possible with them. Love spending time with the kids, and occasionally the wife lets me out to go and see a Man City game. So those are probably the two most important aspects in my life: family and yeah, Man City.
Yeah, but don't you do some strange challenges as well?
Well, I'm not sure I call them strange. I like to keep fit. I've done some, running events and triathlons and things like that. I think it's important to have goals outside of work and not to be competitive, but just to, I guess, compete against yourself. And it gets you out of bed and it gets you exercising and keeping healthy and done in a fun way and not taken too seriously.
Yeah, excellent. So you built a great business, Matthew. Long may it continue. And thanks very much for chatting with us this afternoon.
No, thank you. Appreciate it.
Okay, thanks, Matthew.